Hello students. Yesterday we have studied about adiabatic process, isothermal process and adiabatic curve, isothermal curve, and what will be the slope of adiabatic and isothermal curve when there is compression or expansion of gas. And also I've told you about the work done to expand a gas isothermally. Means if we are taking the temperature of the gas constant, and we allowed that gas to expand the only using the pressure, means only we are changing the pressure, we are keeping temperature constant, and now we want to expand the gas, we are allowing to expand the gas, then what will be the work done, then that formula and how can we derive it, I have told you that. Today let's study about work done in adiabatic process. Suppose that in place of isothermal process, if we have adiabatic process, we are going through adiabatic process to change any state. Suppose that here 2 points A and B. This process is, suppose that this is adiabatic process, and here on this PV diagram, here the pressure is P1, either here P1, either P2, either V2. Okay. Yeah. So while changing from A to B, as we are seeing that its pressure is changing, its volume is changing, and also if the process is adiabatic, then its temperature will change. Means here the temperature will be different, here the temperature will be different. Simple, I think that's clear to you, because in this process there is no transfer of heat occur between system and surrounding, so that's why temperature will be different of the different points or processes in the adiabatic process. So now if we allow any gas to expand adiabatically, then what will be work done in that case? So for this, suppose that this is a vessel in which we are a piston is attached to it. Here the pressure is P1, V1, T1. Means initial pressure, volume and temperature is P1, V1, T1, and now we are going to allow the gas to expand. It means that we are pushing this piston, or we are displacing this piston this direction. Suppose that this displacement is dx, and here obviously to displace it we will apply some work here. So it means that when we will do some work on the piston to displace it through a distance dx, then and the gas is allowed to expand adiabatically. Means let's suppose that final pressure, temperature and volume is like this, P2, V2 and T2 at that point. Then what will be work done in this process? So first of all, in the same manner we can determine what will be the force in this case. Suppose that here the cross sectional area is area of the vessel is capital A, then what will be the force? Force will be pressure into area here, or you can write it initially, this will be P1 into A. Now we are doing some work to displace it, this piston by a distance dx, then what will be the work done? That will be F into dx. So we can write here P1 A into dx, and A into dx is the volume of the container, which is means there is increment in volume of the gas will occur, and that increment will be A into dx, because dx displacement it is displaced here. So that's why the new the volume through which it is expanded, that is A into dx. Then in place of A into dx we can write to here dV. So I think this is simple, clear to you. For general calculation, suppose that I am taking here P. General P means the piston has a P. Then what will be the work done to displace this piston here, or simple to allow a gas to expand adiabatically here? Then first work done in displacing this through a distance dx, that will be this. Now we have to calculate the work done in changing the volume by from V1 to V2, because here we are changing volume by amount dV, but if we want to change it from V1 to V2, then we can integrate it over V1 to V2, and we can obtain what will be the value of final work done in expanding the gas adiabatically. So this process here, this is same as the isothermal process, but after that the equation will be different. So in this equation, as you know that the ideal gas equation is Pb equal to RT for 1 mole. Then we can write from here what will be the value of P, and obviously for actually don't take it for ideal gas. For adiabatic process, as we know that what is the equation of this, that equation is Pv power gamma equal to some constant K. With the help of this we can assign here, we can write here the concept of adiabatic process. So that's why I am taking the equation of adiabatic process, not the equation of ideal gas to solve it. So if you will take this equation of adiabatic process, then we can easily calculate what will be the value of pressure, that will be Pv power gamma. So after putting the value of P here, we will get all the values in terms of V. So what will be the work done, that will be V1 to V2 K by V power gamma dV. Clear? After integrating it, we will get K constant V power minus gamma plus 1 upon minus gamma plus 1. This is V1 to V2. Clear? I think in this mathematical concept there is no problem. We have to integrate it. We can solve it by let's do it V power minus gamma, and as you know that x power n, the integration of x power n is x power n plus 1 upon n plus 1. So through this we can solve it. Now let's put the value of V here. Means after putting upper and lower limit, we will get W equal to K upon 1 minus gamma, that will be V1 upon minus gamma plus 1 minus, sorry, V1 power minus gamma plus 1 minus V2 power minus gamma plus 1. Finally we will obtain this condition. So we can also solve it. We can write this equation like V1 upon V1 power gamma minus V2 upon V2 power gamma. Clear? We can write it here. And now multiply K in this. So 1 upon 1 minus gamma K upon V1 power gamma into V1 minus K upon V2 power gamma into V2. I think calculations are simple and you can understand it easily. Now again, what is the work done? W equal to, that will be 1 minus 1 power, 1 upon 1 minus gamma. Suppose as we have the value of a simple equation of adiabatic process, that is Pb power gamma equal to constant. So if we will see it initially, then what was the pressure, that was P1 and volume was V1. So we can calculate what will be the value of pressure initially, that will be K upon V1 power gamma. Means in place of K upon V1 power gamma, we can write here P1. Similarly, if the final value for the expansion is P2 V2, then we can also calculate what will be the value of P2 terms of V2. So at this place we can write with the help of it P2. So the equation will be P1 V1 minus P2 V2. Okay. Now as you know that gas is ideal gas, so obviously ideal gas equation can be followed here, and ideal gas equation is PV equal to RT or simple, suppose that here n number of molecules, then we can write each Pb equal to nRT. So initially if we want to write this equation, that will be P1 V1 nRT1. And for the adiabatic process, initially pressure was P1, well, volume was V1 and temperature was T1. So in the place of P1 V1 we can write nRT1. Similarly, the final value after expansion is P2 V2 and T2. So P2 V2 and T2. So we can write in place of P2 V2 nRT2. Clear? So after solving this, we can obtain nR 1 minus gamma T1 minus T2. This is the work done in case of adiabatic process, means if only we know through which what is the temperature of the gas when it is allowed to expand adiabatically, means what is initial temperature and what is the final temperature after expansion, then only with the help of its difference we can calculate what will be the value of work done to expand any gas adiabatically to a volume from V1 to V2. And as you know that gamma is the atomicity, so which gas is allowed to expand, that will be means that atomicity will be fixed, means gas is either can be monatomic or diatomic or triatomic. So according to that gamma will have that value, and we can calculate it with the help of degree of freedom and also with the help of specific heat easily. So these are the constants, and this value if we know only, then we can easily calculate what will be the work done to expand any gas adiabatically. Also, if we want to calculate what will be the heat taken by the gas to expand it adiabatically, so as you know that if this is the work done by the piston on the gas to expand it adiabatically, then that will be equal to the heat provided to the gas or heat gained by the gas to expand it adiabatically. So that will be equal to it, and it will be in the form of Joule. So I think simple what is the work done to expand the gas adiabatically, that is now clear to you. I think in this calculation or derivation there was no problem. So the next case is work done in the isothermal or adiabatic process with the help of indicator diagram. So as I told you that the calculated formula through which we can easily calculate what will be the work done in expanding the gas or compressing a gas, we can apply that formula. But if we have indicator diagram, means in case of gases and other things, we can draw a diagram in between pressure and volume, means with the change in volume or with the change in pressure, how the volume of the gas is changing. So that diagram, PV diagram, is known as indicator diagram. Or also we can draw the diagram for temperature and volume, that will also call the indicator diagram. But basically for the most of the cases it is very convenient to use PV diagram, because in isothermal there is no change in temperature, in adiabatic there is change in temperature, and pressure volume always changes in both the processes. Then this can be easily understandable in the case of PV diagram. So I think this is simple, clear to you. Suppose that here a point A and here point B, means this system is going to change from A to B, is state from A to B with any process. This can be isothermal or adiabatic. So here the pressure and volume is P1 V1, here P2 V2, and we want to calculate what will be the work done in the in this process, or expanding the gas or changing the state from A to B in this system with the help of this indicator diagram. Suppose that this system is divided into so many strips like this. This is P, Q, R, S. So if we will divide it in very small, infinitely small strips, then as we are seeing that here the change in suppose that here the change in pressure at vertically is P, and since it is infinitely small, then we can say that the change in pressure from P to Q is very negligible. Means in this case, the what will be the pressure, that will be P. And suppose if we are going from R to S at the volume, and suppose here the change in volume is very small, that is dB. Means due to application of pressure P, here the change in volume is dB, and that can be work done from expanding or simple compressing or changing its volume by an amount dB, or simple displacing it from R to S. It means that simple we can calculate in the same manner what will be, as you know that the work done is defined as PdV in calculated way, I have told you earlier. So if we want to calculate what will be the through the indicator diagram, so what will be the pressure here, that will be P. Suppose that here the pressure is P at this point, and since there is very small change at vertically, as we have divided it into infinitely small strips, then we can say that there is negligible pressure change, but there will be some amount of volume changes here due to that pressure. So that amount, let's take that dV. So this pressure will be PV and this will be dV. So what will be the pressure? Pressure will be P into R, and what will be dB? That will be RS. This is the volume, this is pressure diagram. So we can write it, this will be dB will be RS and pressure will be PR. So as you are seeing that this is a rectangular strip, then this is the area of this rectangular strip. So we can write it that this will be equal to area of strip PQRS. Here means if we want to calculate what is the work done in expanding the gas by an amount dV here, so we can after calculating only its area of this strip on the PV diagram, we can easily calculate what will be the work done in expanding the gas. In the similar way, if it is divided in equal number of strips, infinitely small equal number of strips, then we can calculate it. Suppose that here one more strip, then its area will be the work done in expanding the gas through this volume. In the same manner, and after adding all of them, we can calculate what will be the work done to changing the volume from V1 to V2. Finally, that will be equal to area of this means area under the curve AB, and that will be the area AB. Suppose that this is C, this is D, AB, D, C, A. This is the work done in changing the volume. As we don't know what is the whether the gas is expanding or compressing, but we can calculate what will be the work done to change its volume by V1 to V2, and that will be equal to the area covered by this curve. This curve can be isothermal or adiabatic, and means only the what is the area under this curve, that will be simple the work done to expand or compress the gas. We can easily calculate what will be the work done, or how much amount of heat we have to provide to expand a gas, or how much amount of heat we have to extract from it to compress the gas. So we can easily calculate it with the help of PV diagram or indicator diagram easily. So through the indicator diagram, only by the calculating area we can easily calculate what will be the amount of heat gained by the gas or heat loss by the gas while expanding and or while compressing. So I think this is simple, clear to you how we can, with the help of indicator diagram, we can calculate area of the work done in the changing the volume from V1 to V2. So as I told you that the isothermal and adiabatic curves and slopes for in the case of expansion and compression. So as in the case of expansion, we have seen that this is the curve for isothermal and this was the curve for adiabatic. If gas is expanding, then this was the curve, and in this curve, if we can calculate the expansion in case of adiabatic process and in case of isothermal process, then after a calculation we can see that easily the area under the curve of isothermal is greater than area under the curve of adiabatic. It means that in case of expansion, there we have to do more work in isothermal process than the adiabatic process. Means it is easy to expand a gas adiabatically than the isothermally, because in adiabatic process there is change in pressure and also there is change in temperature. Means in adiabatic process gas is allowed with the help of pressure and temperature. So that's why here we have to do less work in comparison to isothermal, because here temperature is constant and we are expanding the gas only by using pressure. So in isothermal process, the expansion of gas means the, gas will need more heat to expand it isothermally than the adiabatically. So I think this is clear to you. Now again, in case of compression, the curve was like this. And in this process, this was the curve for isothermal and this was the curve for adiabatic. This is the case of compression of a gas. We are compressing a gas, we are decreasing its volume. So in case of isothermal, it is easy to decrease the volume only by the application of pressure, because compression is very easy when there is only pressure application, not any temperature application. So in case of adiabatic, as there is change in temperature and pressure both, so we need more to apply more pressure to overcome the effect of temperature to compress the gas. So that's why in this case, work done, as you are seeing that with the help of an indicator diagram, area under the curve of adiabatic is greater than the area under the curve of isothermal. So here we can also say that in the compression of the gas, there is more work, we need to apply more heat or we have to do more work in adiabatic process than the isothermal process. So in other words, we can say that it's very easy to compress a gas isothermally than the adiabatically. So I think all these things, work done, compression, expansion, all the things are clear to you in both the processes, adiabatic and isothermal processes. So what is the difference between both the processes? So we can summarize it and understand it. So let's see that in a summarized way. The first was that, as I told you in the definition of isothermal and adiabatic, that in isothermal process temperature remains constant during the change of state or any process. So it means that the change in temperature will be 0. But in case of adiabatic, since there is change in temperature occur, so that's why in the case of adiabatic, change in temperature will not be equal to 0. There will be some value for change in temperature in the case of adiabatic, because temperature is not same in that case. Second is that In case of isothermal, since temperature change in temperature is zero, it means that if initially the systems are at different temperature, then there will be some transfer of heat to some body to maintain its temperature. Means transfer of heat will be occurred from higher temperature to lower temperature body, and finally its temperature will become constant. So that's why here some heat will be transferred to the system. So delta Q, if change in heat we will solve, that will be not equal to 0 in this case, because if there is some heat transfer, then it will have some value. But in case of adiabatic, as I have told you that if temperature is different, it means that heat is not transferred to any surrounding or any system or while changing its state. So if heat is not transferring by the gas, then it means that change in heat will be 0. Clear? Two factors are clear to you. Third is that simple, means in this process there is transfer of heat between system and surrounding or two systems, but here no transfer of heat occur between system and surrounding or any two systems. So this is the case of adiabatic. Third is that in the case of isothermal, the changes are very slow, means there is slow change in the volume and pressure. But in case of adiabatic, it is it's very rapid change, there is very rapid change, so that its temperature suddenly can change, and its value of pressure and volume is changed. So in the case of adiabatic there is rapid change, but in the case of isothermal there is very slow change. Fourth factor is that in case of isothermal, the internal energy it does not change. It means that there is change in internal energy equal to 0. But in the case of adiabatic, there is some internal energy changes as the temperature is changing. So this will not be equal to 0. So I think this is clear to you. Fourth factor is that as we have seen the equation for adiabatic and isothermal. So for equation of adiabatic is PV equal to constant, but equation of equation of isothermal is PV equal to constant, but equation of adiabatic process is PV power gamma equal to some constant. Next case, as we have seen that the slope in the case of isothermal process dP by dV, that was equal to minus P by V, and in case of adiabatic the slope was dP by dV equal to minus gamma P by V. Here the atomicity of gases arises in the case of adiabatic change. So these are the difference between adiabatic and isothermal changes, means they are totally different. Work done in isothermal process is different, work done in adiabatic process is different. Expansion means as I have told you that to the indicator diagram, work done to expand a gas isothermally is tough than to expand it adiabatically, and also work done on the system to compress it isothermally, it is easy than the adiabatic process. So these all the difference regarding to this. So I think the concept of adiabatic and isothermal process is now clear to you. I have told all the information about these two processes. I think that are very important, and I think that is totally clear to you. So the next case is the let's see two more processes which is isochoric and isobaric process. So what is isochoric process? So in this process we kept volume of the gas constant. Volume of the gas constant, it means change in volume will be 0. Clear? So if we are try to keep the its volume constant, means there is change in volume equal to 0, it means that no work is done on the gas or by the gas, because if there is work done on the gas or by the gas, then there will be change in volume will occur. So in the isochoric process, work done in the system or by the system is equal to 0. So there is no work done is obtained. So in this process, if there is we supply heat energy, then whole of the heat energy is used to increase its internal energy and its temperature. Means only all of the heat energy is used to change the temperature and internal energy. No heat is used to expand or compress the gas. Means to work on the system or by the system is there is no work done in case of isochoric process where the volume is constant. We can also show it with the help of PV diagram. So if we seeing the case of PV diagram, so if volume is constant, then PV diagram will be like this. So if we will calculate area under this diagram, that will be 0. From here we can also calculate work done equal to 0 in this case, as the volume is constant, only pressure is changing here. So area under this will be 0. So in isochoric process, no work is done on the system or by the system. Clear? All of the heat is used to change its temperature or internal energy. Next case is the case of isobaric process. Isobaric process. So what is isobaric process? If we kept the pressure of the gas constant, then the process is known as isobaric. It means that change in pressure will be 0. So if there is change in pressure will be 0, then obviously the change in volume will occur only due to the change in its temperature. So if we will draw some PV diagram for this, then this diagram will be like this. So we can calculate area under this PV diagram, and this will give us what will be the work done in the on the system or by the system to expand or compress the gas by using only the temperature changes, not the pressure changes. So if in the isobaric process, if the heat is supplied, then heat is used in two ways. First, to change its temperature. Second, to do some work on the gas. Means it will expand the gas and also it will change its internal energy and temperature. So I think this is simple, clear to you. In case of isobaric process, if pressure is constant, then heat, all of the heat will be used to increase its temperature, and due to increment in temperature, heat can be transferred to the system, internal energy will change, and gas will be expanded or compressed according to the change in temperature or variation of heat. So I think all the processes are now clear to you. Isothermal process where temperature is constant, adiabatic process where one more I will tell you later, one factor entropy is constant, but simple, there is no heat transfer takes place. In case of isochoric process, no work done work on the system or by the system is obtained, and in isobaric process here the pressure is constant and all of the heat energy is used to change its internal energy and also to expand the gas. So I think all the processes are simply clear to you now. So if these are clear, then let's end the class here today.